Morning Majlis, talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
This is Pulse 95 and a very warm welcome back onto the Morning Majlis. Now, the big question is, where in the world can you travel when it comes to the vaccine situation? And a lot of people are aware that Sinopharm vaccine is only accepted in 4 European countries, and the rest are only operating on the EMA vaccine, which is making people urges them to get the recognized vaccine for the world of travel. And the first one that will pop up in most people's minds, given the availability in the United Arab Emirates, is Pfizer. But the other thing is, people are concerned about how dominant it is going to be against the Delta variant. Pfizer's vaccine is just 39% effective. This is according to a study from a country's health ministry, and they're looking at the efficacy rates as well, because in the UK it found that Pfizer was 88% effective against symptomatic disease caused by the variant. Now, for us innocent minds, it's all confusing.
Yeah, it is all confusing, and it's so much to take in as well, especially given that the number of cases that are Delta variant related vary from country to country, so the findings would differ based on where the research is being conducted. But in Israel, where the largest portion of cases is the Delta variant, they found that after 2 shots of the Pfizer vaccine, it's 39% effective at reducing infection risk, 40% effective at reducing the risk of symptomatic diseases during this period. Now, what does this mean? Well, they're saying that the experts are saying that it's notable, however, that it still protects against severe illness, against hospitalization, and against deaths. So it's not entirely useless, in fact. The Pfizer vaccine, despite being 40% effective, around that, is still very, very efficient, according to experts from the country. Now, they're still saying that we're not sure about whether the reduction in effectiveness is due to time passed or a question of the variant as well. They said this preliminary data was based on hundreds of cases, and more research is still ongoing as well. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. We're still learning more and more about the way that these vaccines work, not just against variants, but how immunity fares over a longer period of time. They're still also looking at the interval between dosing and how that affects your immunity. So there are just so many different angles to look into this, but it's pretty clear that this is a confusing conversation for a lot of people, because it's sort of something that is still in progress. But the only thing that we know for sure is, yes, vaccines are pretty effective. Even when the efficacy rate is technically low, you still get a lot of protection against severe illness from COVID.
That's right. And according to some researchers, they found that people who were inoculated back in January were actually experiencing breakthrough infections at a greater rate than those vaccinated in April with the Pfizer vaccine. But researchers said that this may be due to the age of the people inoculated, and those inoculated in January were above the age of 60, while those vaccinated in April were younger. But as the Delta variant surges through many countries and concerns rise about the virus evading the vaccine, some government authorities, they're considering the possibility of a third booster shot. So they're saying that if a third booster is safe and if it seems that it really would give a benefit, then there is something they could be definitely doing as quickly as possible. And that is the latest being from the Israeli government as well. But the question is the booster shot from Pfizer safe or not? That remains a question, because, I mean, just a while ago, the WHO, they came out and they said that what? It was safe or wasn't safe?
Well, the thing
they talked about it. We talked about it being safe here in the government, and over there they said it was safe.
That's a thing, and that's something that they're looking at as well. I mean, for instance, Australia, they did a study on Pfizer for ages 12 to 15. The medical regulator in the country deemed the vaccine to be safe as well. And when it comes to any form of treatment or medicine whatsoever, it's usually a measurement of the risks and you want the pros to outweigh the cons in every case because adverse effects are associated with every medication and vaccine that there is, and the case certainly applies to Pfizer. The big concern was cases of heart irregularities, myocarditis in particular in young men. There was definitely found to be a link between Pfizer and that in some cases, but medical experts did say that the benefits outweigh the risks in this instance, and the number of myocarditis cases is not significant enough to warrant widespread concern about the safety of the shot. So till now, they're saying that the Pfizer is technically safe so far.
Yeah, Pfizer and then the Sinopharm or Sinopharm, depending on how you'd like to pronounce it, is also obviously has been one of the widely used vaccine here in the United Arab Emirates. And for us simpletons, these new researches and new studies really cause a lot of confusion. But just to build up your mindset as well, is a recent study from the Sri Jayawardenapura University in Sri Lanka. They found that the Sinopharm vaccine was highly effective against the Delta variant. They said that it was, not, according to the study, 95% of individuals who received 2 doses of the Sinopharm vaccine have actually developed antibodies similar to a naturally infected COVID-19 person. And this is why a lot of different centers are now offering the booster shot in the nation's capital, Abu Dhabi. At least 6 months ago, if you've taken the vaccine, then you're now eligible to receive the booster shots. But some people are preferring taking the Pfizer, mainly because of the world of travel. And that's very interesting to see, because next week, hopefully, inshallah, I'll be heading off to the world or the continent of Europe, and I want to test it out myself. That's the only reason why I'm going, to check out if my Sinopharm is going to be as welcome.
That is not the only reason why you're going.
Probably is.
Why are you fooling people?
No, I'm probably going there for sure. Investigative journalism, of course. Wearing that hat. Why not? We'll keep you posted in terms of what's happening. This is the sports headlines up next, courtesy of Iman Al-Majali. And we'll be back again right after that. You're listening to the Morning Majlis, only on Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
The Morning Majlis. Talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
On to India right now. In the state of Maharashtra in particular, where authorities said a torrential monsoon rain has caused landslide and flooded low-lying areas, which cut off hundreds of villages. Currently, the death toll is at least 136 people, as per the authorities. Going into this in more detail, at least 38 people were killed in Taliye, which is 180 kilometers southeast of Mumbai, when a landslide flattened most of that village, according to state government officials. The death toll also includes 27 reported deaths from Satara district in the last 48 hours, according to officials as well. So what's been happening right now is, as of today morning, over 90,000 people have been evacuated from affected areas to safety. Heavy showers are continuing to wreak havoc across the state. The National Disaster Response Force, the Indian Army, Coast Guards, Navy, Air Force, and state authorities have all been deployed as part of a rescue effort. Authorities say that major damages have been reported in all 3 coastal districts of Raigad, Satara, and Ratnagiri.
Yeah, the rains definitely caused the worst floods in decades in the resort state of Goa. That's about 500 kilometers south of Maharashtra. And according to Goa's health minister, he said that people have lost virtually everything. Now, the state had not seen such heavy rains in half a century, according to him, with more than about 1,000 houses suffering serious damage. And Goa's chief minister also said the monsoons had caused widespread damage, but no casualties, unlike in neighboring Maharashtra. But more than half of the deaths in Maharashtra were in Raigad district, where about 35 bodies were recovered after a landslide struck a village on Friday. And another 15 to 20 people were also feared trapped under the debris, according to the state's relief and rehabilitation minister as well. And at least 4 people died in the state capital of Mumbai after a building also collapsed, and another 27 were killed in other parts of Maharashtra due to those landslides and accidents linked to the heavy rainfall.
And it is none other than climate change that has been blamed for this situation. Heavy rains and floodings have also hit Western Europe recently, parts of China in recent weeks, as well as North America are facing those heat waves. Really goes to show that this is a very, very alarming situation, and it's not going to go away that easily. And it certainly is going to be bothering us for time to come, especially when it comes to measures that countries will be taking as well. We do know that the COP26 environment ministers are meeting in London for those crunch talks, which we'll talk to you about in greater detail later on in the program. But we saw a typhoon in China after flooding chaos, and this happens as Typhoon Infa is going to be making landfall near Shanghai, and flights and train services have also been suspended as a result of high disruptive winds, rough seas, and flooding is also expected.
Yeah, and scientists are saying that this summer of floods all around the world should serve as a wake-up call for leaders around the world to take urgent action on warming temperatures to protect the planet and future generations as well. They said the way this happens is a warmer atmosphere retains more moisture, which falls as heavy rain during storms, as noted, even as other parts of the world are suffering from intense heat waves, drought, and wildfires that are linked to rising temperature as well. So they're saying these widespread flooding we're seeing in India, in Europe, in China is linked to climate change, and without the change of climate, you wouldn't see as much precipitation and heavy rain as there is today. And simply because the air is now hotter, it can hold more moisture, so rain is always going to be more intense than ever.
Definitely is, and it's going to be a bit of a wake-up call for all of us to understand that, apart from the pandemic, the bigger crisis still looms, and it is the world of climate change and global warming. And with that, we'd like to invite you, our listeners on Pulse 95, if you've taken part in any environmental initiatives or are you working towards climate change, whether you're at school or whether you're in your own offices, have initiated some environmental changes. We'd love to celebrate that, because once we celebrate that and promote such activities and such practices, it encourages the others to follow
we'll
suit.
Inspire others.
Exactly. And for us, we sometimes leave a taps on high when we're doing the ablution, for example. So those are little things that you can change as well, and not only just on your energy bills, but on the environment as a whole. So let us know on those text lines 4215 if you've been involved in any environmental initiatives, whether workplace, home, community. We'd love to get you on board and promote it as well. Stay with us on the Morning Majlis. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can do so on 4215, the text line, or morningmajlis@sba.net.ae to get in touch with us via email. Up next, we talk to you about global measures and the COP26 meeting that is taking place in London today. What's going to happen and what is going to be discussed? All of this will be revealed here on the Morning Majlis.
Pulse 95. Between local lines. Notes from the Emirate.
Yes, we are discussing the Evade Date Festival. It started this Thursday, in fact. Today is the final day of this event that's organized by the Sharjah Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and has over the weekend attracted a large number of participants and applicants as well for its various competitions as well. What a fascinating event this is, and really provides a glimpse into the intricacies of the dates world. I'm learning more by the day. Rania, you seem very knowledgeable about this. You've been naming a couple variants of those dates.
No, just a couple.
Just a couple?
Yeah, just a
Mahroush,
couple.
what was that called?
Majdoul.
Majdoul.
Yeah, so they're good. So what is your favorite type, you said, Abdul Karim?
I said sukari, which means I think sugary.
Sugary.
Yeah, because that is something that really catches my attention, especially during the Ramadan festivities. It's all over the brandings. It's one of the most widely sold. It is the one of the most easily accessible dates as well for when it comes to whenever they're sold as well, especially in supermarkets. But Majdoul ones, they're larger. the
They're
data.
the healthiest.
Apparently the healthiest in terms of the variety of dates that they in terms of the delicacy, and because they have a little bit of a caramel-like texture, it tends to be very, very popular. And it once again was very popular at the Al Zaid Dates Festival.
They were actually they're very good antioxidants. They're good for your heart health in general. They're good for your digestion. I know that my mom always tells me, like, if I have problems with my digestion or something, eat dates. But the specific type of dates is majdoul. That's like the best type that you can have. But actually the costliest ones, you know which one they are?
Ajwa dates.
I believe it's the barhi one.
How much do they go for?
I don't know, but they're considered to be the costliest ones. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
the reason why we're talking about dates is because we've had the Al Zaid Date Festival, which concludes today,
Yes.
as per the plans, and it has become a national, social, and heritage gathering for the farmers and merchants from the Emirate of Sharjah and the country as a whole. That's according to Muhammad Ahmed Amin Al-Awadi, the Director General of the Sharjah Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He said that the festival is considered an annual platform for palm owners to promote their products through the display stands that the Sharjah Chamber of Commerce and Industry provides to enhance the quality of the participation and exchange experiences. And so many people and so many farmers were very, very delighted to take part. In fact, it was a very, very high turnout.
Exactly. General Coordinator of the festival, Mohammed Musabih Al-Tunaiji, spoke about the importance of this festival for palm growers here in the eastern and central regions of Sharjah, as well as in other emirates in the country. He said this festival plays a very important role in improving the quality and diversity of local dates through the various competitions it holds. This year's edition, the theme is authenticity of the past and glory of the present. We've seen 23 stands for displaying all kinds of dates. And what's pretty cool as well is if you go on the social media for a Zaid Dates Festival, the organizing committee is putting on competitions, raffle draws, and a number of prizes up for grabs, including an iPhone 12 Pro smartphone as well. So it's great to see that they're soliciting the participation of the public. And everybody gets to join this celebration of the diversity and culture of cultivating and growing palm trees and the dates that come from them.
Definitely, and really good to see in terms of how people have been going over and checking their favorite dates out. In fact, Aisha Al-Mazmi was down there over the holidays. Let us know on the text lines 4215 if you had gone over to the event and got a chance to check out what people have been up to and what kind of new produce that is being showcased. And if you've missed out on it, let's not worry, because today is the final day, so you can still catch the last remaining bits of the festival, and maybe, you never know, catch a bargain when you're trying to buy some dates, especially for the holiday season.
Should we go after the show? Let's head on.
We should, right?
Let's head on
Get
to
some
a date.
dates.
We've added to the agenda now.
Let's do it.
We can definitely do that for sure. Let us know on the text lines 4215 if you are going to be heading down there as well, and we'd love to catch you there. Why not? Stay with us on the Morning Majlis. Up next, we continue the discussions here in the program. This time, we talk to you about how you can keep your young ones busy and occupied with a workshop, a summer camp workshop, courtesy of Sharjah Museums Authority. You're listening to the Morning Majlis only on Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
The Morning Majlis, talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
This is Pulse 95, and a very warm welcome back onto the Morning Majlis. Now, the thing is, a lot of people are saying that it's sad for the athletes for taking part in the Olympics and with no fans, and should the event be taking place, because there's a lot of press coverage surrounding how many more cases are being detected amongst athletes who are taking part in the Tokyo Olympics. But the thing is, some of them, apart from aiming for the medals, are going to be walking away with a special phone now.
Yeah, from Samsung. Samsung, they're actually dishing out gift bags for all athletes competing in this year's this Tokyo Olympics. The gift bag, basically, it includes a new Olympic Games edition Galaxy S21 smartphone, wireless Samsung Galaxy Buds Pro earbuds with a separate carry and charge case, and also a commemorative pen in an Olympics-themed box. Basically, they're walking away with all of that from Samsung.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff what's happening right now. And we're looking at updates from the Olympics. There's so much going on at the moment. One notable development here is golf star from the United States, Bryson DeChambeau. Unfortunately, he's not going to be competing anymore in the Olympics. He tested positive for COVID-19 prior to leaving for Tokyo, so that's a major setback. He's one of the most exciting, explosive golf athletes today. Looking further, Australia has broken the world record in the women's 4x100 meter freestyle relay. That was Australia's first gold medal of these Olympics and third total medal as well. We're also looking at Ashley Barty, the tennis star from Team Australia, has been knocked out of the Olympics in the first round, unfortunately, as well. And a U.S. Olympic athlete has tested positive for COVID-19, but the identity of the athlete has not been revealed. That's been cause for concern. A lot of people in the build-up to this had been asking, what if the athletes test positive? What's going to happen? So, yeah, that's a bit of a dicey, sticky situation from the U.S. team as well.
I think as soon as the medals start rolling in, that's when people stop complaining. And Japan, which had faced a lot of protests as well for the Olympics, and a lot of people were disappointed in the fact that this is going on, they'll be delighted because Japan's Yuto Horigome has won the first ever skateboarding competition at the Olympic Games, and they've taken the gold medal in the men's street in the city. And it's also a place where he learned to skate as a kid, whereas sport is also frowned upon in the country. So great to see a medal in the bank for Japan. The UAE also is taking part in the Olympics, and today we've had the men's skeet in the shooting competition. Saif bin Fatais is shooting away towards glory and hoping to get a medal there. And looking at the tally so far this morning, China's won 3 Olympic golds, Japan 2 now, United States 1 so far, and Australia also won. Australia has a contingent of 488 athletes.
Wow.
It's a huge amount of athletes that have qualified for this year's Olympics and are taking part in it. So really, really exciting times for the country as well. Is anyone following the Olympics? Anyone?
I'm trying to keep track of all the different sports. I think tennis is a pretty good one at the Olympics. You usually have all the big athletes. Naomi Osaka is going to be a big one. Swimming. I remember the days where like Michael Phelps was king. Everybody was like Michael. It's so weird when you get like an athlete in the Olympics that everybody's talking about. Even, like nowadays, you don't. I mean, are there any notable names in swimming right now?
Michael Phelps.
I don't know.
I think he's gone. He's not.
Gone.
Yeah. I think he retired or something. But let us know by texting at 4215 what sports you're following at the Olympics. Seems like every time we tune in, we learn about new sports taking place. They got shooting, archery, skateboarding now. What are they doing skateboarding?
Well, it's the first time they're taking part in it. So it's a men's freestyle sort of an event. So, and this is another gold medal for Japan. Another gold medalist hopeful for Japan. She's been in the headlines for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Naomi Osaka. I think that's the name that a lot of people would be looking out for at the moment. She is playing her women's singles today.
Tennis.
Right now. I think when you talk about Olympics, the way the Brazilians celebrated their first gold medal at the Rio Olympics in football was just surreal. The amount of excitement these guys had to win the first gold medal for Brazil because of their football was just incredible, and that made you feel and value the significance of that gold medal. And surely lots of us will be catching some of the games. Yes, I understand some people's sentiments saying, man, there are not enough games to watch, anything exciting. But it's always good to put something on in the background and catch it and appreciate the work that these Olympians had put in to take part in the games. So we'll definitely keep a close eye on the games. We'll keep you posted. We're doing another bit of a roundup of the Olympics later on in the program. But stay with us. We've got the business headlines courtesy of Iman Al-Majali, and we'll be back again right after that.
Join the conversation with the Morning Majlis, Pulse 95.
Speaking of fast things, China has unveiled a new type of maglev train, and it claims to be the fastest ground transport service on the planet. So that equates to about 373 miles per hour. So to put that in a bit more perspective, that's nearly half the speed of sound and faster than some private aircraft.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible. And this doesn't just make it the fastest train in the world, it makes it the fastest land vehicle, period. The bullet train is able to travel at such high speeds because of magnetic levitation. It's a technology that uses electromagnetic force to levitate the body of the vehicle less than 2 inches from the rails and propel it forward along the tracks. It rides on a cushion of air, essentially, where friction is drastically reduced, and that is how the train manages to travel faster than traditional trains that rely on wheels and rails that are constantly in contact. This technology had so far been used at a very limited scale, but now we're seeing China use it at a more widespread fashion, and it's really hard to imagine something like a hovering, levitating train moving at very rapid speeds.
Scary to be inside it, to be honest.
It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It'd be
Worse.
amazing. It'd be
Faster.
Amazing to see that. I think cutting a travel journey to half is always great. I think this is like the Hyperloop system that people are really excited about and building up hype surrounding its first. They said the first opening of the Hyperloop is going to be in India. But now with this new train, the maglev line in commercial use connecting Shanghai to Pudong Airport is great. And I think it just makes the world of fast travel a possibility. And we're hoping that this project does kick off and does really well, and it'll be great to see what happens in the future when it comes to fast modes of transportation.
Yeah, we'll be seeing this in Japan as well. The Central Japan Railway Company is also testing a maglev train that should be going at similar speeds and should make its debut at 2027, however, but it'll be interesting to see high-speed bullet train wars taking place. More and more people joining the fray with the maglev trains.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, that's going to be exciting times indeed. Now, early on this program, we had asked you the big quiz question to keep your minds tested and upbeat as well, especially in line with the Olympics. And we asked you this question saying, what is the new name of the country Swaziland? Lots of you texted, shared your responses, and a lot of you have got it right. In fact, on my Insta handle, let's plug it in, Abdul on air, just in there. If you guys want to follow, why not? We posted some of the multi-choice, and I offered Swaziland as one of the options. In line with the popular country Estonia, I said Eswatonia as another option, and another option was Eswatini, and
That is the right answer.
and it is the right answer. Lots of people got it right. Great to see that, of course.
Yay!
Exciting times indeed.
Eswatini, it's a country in southern Africa.
Yes, it is a landlocked country as well, and one of the last remaining kingdoms. It's got the black and white rhinos living close to each other as well, and wonderful to see how things are over there. They played their boxing game yesterday and sadly resulted in a defeat, but things do happen, and lots of people will be banking on winning their medals as well. Looking at the Olympics so far, the medal tally, it is going to be China leading at the moment. In fact, Japan has been pulling through. They've won 3 gold medals so far. Well done to the Japanese side. And China is at second with 3 gold medals and 2
they're tied,
bronze. Yeah, they're tied for the top. Japan's got 3 gold, 1 silver. Very good start. The United States 1 gold, 2 silver and 4 bronze medals. Really amazing to see what the countries are doing in terms of bagging their medals as well. Well, stay with us on the Morning Majlis. We will continue the discussions here on the program. We'll be back again tomorrow morning, bright and early, continuing the discussions. But if people would like to catch our podcasts, where can they do that?
They can do that on our Spotify, SoundCloud, and Apple Podcast. Just type Morning Majlis in the search bar to check out the segments from the show. You can also check out our YouTube channel at Pulse 95 Radio. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate the support. And we hope to see you again tomorrow, bright and early at 7 a.m. Until then, stay tuned to Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of The Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe. 95. Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories. Pulse.